Star Trek, man. Freaking Star Trek. Even I, from Romania, a continent away from the United States, not only heard about Star Trek, but experienced the cultural phenomenon that it was. I mean, in a time where Amazon didn't exist, it was very difficult to find any Star Trek toys. Not because the stores didn't have them, but because they sold right away. I mean, it was so popular. It was amazing. How do you manage to ruin a franchise like that is the question. I mean, these people should write a book on how to utterly destroy a franchise. And finally, by the way, finally we have the objective proof of just how bad it is. Because you see, instead of treating it like Old Yeller and taking it behind the barn and I mean, I know it's painful, but it has to be done. It had to be done. But no, like what they did was they took Old Yeller to the market. Yeah. Trying to sell a rabid dog to the public. And the public is like, why did you brought that thing here? It's like to shame it. Because what they did is they moved it during prime time. And because they moved it during prime time, we can now see the ratings and we can compare it to other shows just to see how bad Star Trek really is. The thing that the progressives dread the most, objectivity, standards, comparing it to other things. So here we get the ratings, and my God, I mean, it's a bloodbath. I would be ashamed. And I'll give you the punchline, because there's not one, but two punchlines. But first of all, like, let's see what managed to beat the FO Star Trek. The first one is a spin-off from The Big Bang Theory, Young Sheldon. And by the way, I'm not surprised that Young Sheldon is actually doing well, because regardless of what you're thinking about the big cancer theory, at least Young Sheldon maintains the same vibe. It maintains the same spirit. It's true to the core, which is the Big Bang Theory. And that's why people like it. If you are a fan of the Big Bang Theory, you're probably going to be a fan of the Young Sheldon, because it doesn't insult the fans. It doesn't try to change the lore. It doesn't try to reinvent the wheel. No, they have a show that worked, and they wanted to focus on that show, which is why this is successful. Completely not the same with Star Trek. You know, Star Trek used to be about humanity's bright new future, and when I look at Star Trek Discovery, it is the corporate hellhole. I already released a couple of reviews on episodes in order to explain why that is, but suffice to say is the reason why it's not popular. Look at this. Celebrity Wheel of Fortune, a rerun. Oh, and my bad. Like, I forgot to mention. Okay, like, this is me. A rerun of Young Sheldon beat Star Trek Discovery. But if that's not good enough, a rerun of Celebrity Wheel of Fortune also managed to beat Star Trek. How much does it cost to produce Celebrity Wheel of Fortune? I mean, I know they give prizes, but I'm pretty sure like one episode of Celebrity Wheel of Fortune is a lot cheaper to produce. And not to mention, like, again, a rerun of that managed to beat Star Trek. And you're going to wait for the punchline. Like, I'm going to tell you something that's going to floor you if you're not already on the ground laughing. And then I got like some random name shows that I've never heard about. Be Positive and Mom. Reruns, by the way, all of them. And now finally a new show, The Unicorn, manages, like the Chad Unicorn, which seems to have doubled the ratings of Star Trek. Mr. Mayor, another rerun of Celebrity Wheel of Fortune. Hell's Kitchen, okay? Well, I guess like people want to see Chef Ramsay, right? I mean, seeing uncooked food is a lot more interesting than watching Star Trek Discovery. Dateline NBC, Call Me Cat, Law and Order SVU. Okay, right, Law and Order, a rerun of it. Like, again, this is Star Trek we're talking about, right? Walker. Is that like the new Walker with one of the supernatural twins? Huh? I haven't seen it. Is it any good? Not according to the ratings. I mean, it struggled against Star Trek Discovery, but it still came up on top. Okay, let me give you the punchline. All right? Do you know what episode of Star Trek Discovery this was? It was the season finale. The season finale is literally like when people tune in, because it's like, come on, it's the season finale. Like, usually you get like the season and it's got like an arc, and maybe you don't really care about the episodes, but like, you're like, all right, let's see how the arc finished, because it's the finale. Like, most people do tune in for these things. And do you want to know what the other punchline is? Because this one is even funnier. They already renewed it for another season. So yes, you're going to get Star Trek Discovery Season 4. Season freaking 4. What is wrong with these people? I mean, I know they're communists, but like, come on, like, you do need to understand some market economics. Like, even Stalin, if he would have noticed that a piece of his propaganda is just not working with the public, at one point he will say, all right, let's try something new. Oh my, you know why the big issue about it? Well, hold on. What the hell is Legacies? Do I even want to know? Oh, it's a spin-off to Vampire Diaries. All right. Well, I've managed to tie with Star Trek. And I felt like it's only because it was the season finale for Star Trek Discoveries. Otherwise, Legacies would have came on top. Do you know what the problem is? Like, this is what they would have had to talk. They need the conversation. It's like, look, even if right now, let's say season 4 of Star Trek happens to be the best ever, like, it's just mind-blowing episode after mind-blowing episode. Who's going to watch it though? Like, even like imagine it, I would just tune in for season 4 and I would see like the best episode, and I go to Arch Warhammer and hey, you know what? Hey, Mahler, hey, you need to tune in to the new Star. Do you think I'm crazy? Like, no one would believe me that it actually managed to become good again. Like, it's impossible. Like, you lost faith. Just, if you still want to do Star Trek, just use the sets and whatnot. Just cancel the shit and start something fresh. You're probably going to pay less for the new actors, right? Because, like, the more an actor plays, the more expensive he gets. Whenever you renew the contract of an actor, like, they renegotiate, so it's even more expensive to produce. Millions of dollars per episode. They could actually feed poor people with this shit. They're losing money anyway, right? They might as well give it to charity. It would have like a net benefit to the world than what they're doing. I stopped watching it. I would watch it out of curiosity, but I'm afraid I might double their ratings if I tune in. Not only that, like, I stopped watching since like the mansplaining episode. Yes, like, they actually did a mansplaining episode, and the New York Times and all these publications were writing how great it is. The mansplaining episode was like some red shirt that was constantly giving attitude to Burnham, and I was like, dude, this isn't mansplaining. Like, how did he manage to get into the military? He is below her rank and he's giving her sass. Like, it doesn't matter that she's a woman. It's like he's giving sass to a superior officer. And then he ends up dying in an asteroid field. And I guess like the moral of the episode is like, don't mansplain. And I'm like, okay, like, this is a little bit way too complex for me. Like, some underlying philosophies that I really can't understand. And I tuned out. So why would you think like I would tune out for season 4? Do you know what that would mean? Like, I would have to catch up, so I'd have to watch season 2 and season 3. Like, this is punishment. I think I might found a use for Star Trek though. If you have a kid, it's really good educational material. Like, whenever your kid misbehaves, he skips school, he doesn't do his homework, you force him to watch Star Trek Discovery. Although, like, maybe I shouldn't say this because it's a little bit controversial. I mean, the cops might come in and arrest you if you do that, because they would take your kid away because you're being a cruel and unusual parent. You would be subjecting your kid to torture, forcing him to watch Star Trek Discovery. Good God. Yeah. And by the way, they renewed Picard as well. Why do they do this though? No, like, there needs to be a question. Like, what is it? Like, are they being blackmailed? Does the director know something about everyone else? And the director says, like, look, if you're not giving me another season, I'm going to the press and I'm releasing what I know. Like, what do you think it is? Because it has to be something, Even like if you're a progressive and you're making propaganda, like, you notice that no one is watching, no one is tuning in, the toys aren't selling. You must say, like, come on. Let's try something new. Holy crap. Let me know what you guys think though, and I'll see you in the comment section.